So, when we talk about researching an area, it's really like three phases, and they continue to repeat themselves. The cycle, the research cycle, is pre-field research, and that's online research involving where are we going, be satellite, examining, you know, from satellite the areas that we find in our current data set hit the model for perfect habitat, and so pre-field research and what I do pre-field determines the success and what comes out in the data at the end. So this is true for everybody, right? You can't catch fish if you're not on them, if you're not around them, right? And so, you know, it's that thing where you're not going to kill a deer if you can't go where the deer are. And so you got to figure all that out. Well, our models are on the money, period. And we can teach you those things, but pre-field research involves that, examining that. And so when I go to the next phase, which is the boots on the ground phase, I already understand that satellite shot has gone like this. So I'm looking at the satellite shot. Now I'm going to lay it down flat in front of me. And I see that entire map and all that topography. I understand it. If I lay that map down and I'm in the middle of it and here's the entrance, I know where the entrance is on the map. And here I am, and I understand positioning of key elements in the topography by street level. And you know, in these areas, if you go to Google, you can get street map, right? You go in there, street view it, but you're not going to go off the road because Google doesn't do that. Mark's brain does. And so since I can do that and assign value to certain areas in pre-field, I already know where I'm going. So what I'm doing is going straight to the creatures, and that's the value of pre-field research. Now you're boots on the ground. I'm in the area. Here's the map laid flat. I'm at the entrance. I understand. I have the satellite picture in my head. I have the key elements, and I start hiking directly towards one of them. No shortcuts. You know what I mean? I'm going straight towards it. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm not there for any other reason. I'm about my mission. And the mission of shooting in the right areas gets accomplished. And that's what field research is about. When you're boots on the ground, you need to get in and document in the right area. Or what did you do? You went for a hike. But if you're in the right area and you've gone straight to it, you've conserved all your time, which means you've conserved all your money and effort and all that stuff. And so now the economy of the expedition, you have value. You're there in a timely manner. You're there when the data says you should be. You're not late. And when you do things right, it's amazing what comes out on the back end, which is the next consideration. So we have the pre-field that puts us in the right spot. We have the boots on the ground, and that involves a hell of a lot more than we just discussed. But we lecture on that. And then we also have post, and we lecture on that as well. But in the post-field examination, this is where we mine the value. We get the value in the data out, right? So we're going to get all this data out. How are we going to do that? We're going to load clips. We're going to examine frame by frame all of what we see in front of us and all of what we're shooting. And we're going to look for the right symmetry. We're going to look for the creatures, right? But in the beginning, we don't understand what that is. The boots on the ground gets the data that you then examine so you can see what's there. Because what happens invariably, and you will end up doing this, I have to learn to see what's in there. Because something's in there. That's what's in there. And you're going to keep seeing it. You're going to see this. You know, there's something in there, and it's leaving tracks, and I know it's in there. So you start filming way in there, trying to see if you can see further, because your eyes ain't getting it done. That's field research. See, now you're questioning and following up with experiments, and you don't even understand that that's what you're doing. But you're doing it. Asking the question. Why am I not seeing it? Okay, well, maybe it's further. Well, let me get a camera and see. And so you get the zoom lens in this little 4K, and it was like $250. And the next thing you know, one of these times you zoom in, you think you might have saw something move to the right. 60 yards into the shot, way in the bush down in there. It's got trees everywhere, but something went back behind a tree. It looked like it. And you're like, did I get it? Did I get it? Oh my God. So now you're wanting to like leave right then. You can't even like finish the expedition, but you damn sure ain't going all the way over there because you know something's up, right? Sure enough. Post. Now we're in the post, right? So you've done your research put you in the right area. You used your equipment the right way, and we do all that. We teach all of that. Crypto Reality, Patreon, in the field. We teach all of this. Now you're boots on the ground, doing the right thing in the right area. And in post-examination of all of your data, lo and behold, you got him with the look. And he's... But when you're looking at it, you're seeing it, and it's just got this incredible blend where the color on its face seems to be so consistent that the camera's having trouble telling the difference between features because the depth has been eliminated on the creature's face. You're watching a film and it's two-dimensional. How is this possible? Because people are like showing, and you know what I mean? And want to know why? You can see the depth in their face. They're not achromatically colored. White people aren't white, man. It's funny, man. And it's so funny. People are not achromatic. And so you don't have to have color hit their face in order to see them. We already have color, so you can see us. But these guys are achromatic, right? So you're looking at it, and then the camera interprets data exactly the way it is in reality, and that's what you're seeing. And I've seen Sasquatch exactly the way they look on our films with my own two eyes. The illusion. When you're asking the right questions, because you did the right pre-field research, you're asking the right questions in the area, standing there, and it's the right area. Rely on it, man. Those who came before you left a record. It's called a sighting. They said, I saw this big thing in here. Nobody believes me, by the way. It was anecdote. People telling their story. And other people taking an interest in it, taking the report, and doing all the work to put it on a website. The BFRO. Everybody, the BFRO. And I try to stay off of that and keep it separate from finding Bigfoot. The BFRO has immense value. And you can't, if you're a researcher, you can't deny that. Because if you're any kind of a researcher, then you've already corroborated several encounters from the website. I have. I've been reading off of that website for a long time. Crypto Reality was started in 2004. I've been in the field in the exact areas that encounters are some of the best encounters you ever... Game wardens standing there with people, tourists from another county, and they're all watching Sasquatch eat. Is on there. I've been standing right there on that dock, looking at the trees the creature was eating from, wading through the environment. I've gone through and found food sources in the form of snails under those trees. Why was the creature there, I asked. So I did a study, of cypress trees in our research areas. And the snails congregate under the trees, man. They're all in that area. And the snails, I say this all the time, are going nowhere. So they're a great source of protein for these creatures. In the mornings, where do you find the snails? Everybody knows you walk outside your house and In the cool of the morning, while the dew's out, the snails are getting a drink from the dew. They're getting their daily water intake. And they're all up on the cypress trees, and they're all over everything, man. And it's amazing. And these creatures are symbiotic, and they exist in these environments by eating these kind of things, right? But I go into those areas and I learn this stuff. You ask the question, so go find out. Don't ask the question. Don't be this guy. I'm going to ask 4,000 questions over the course of the next 4 years. And I'm going to hold everybody accountable for their answers, but I'm never going to go get one. And if you don't give the answer I like, I'm going to trash you publicly. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't do that. You don't want that. Be the guy that asks the question and has the adventurous, courageous, and scientific mind to go observe what's going on firsthand. So you can actually answer the question, because that's field research, right?